We've all been there. A notification pops up on our phone. It's a simple buzz or a soft chime, and we instinctively reach for it. We think it's just a quick check, a momentary glance to see if it's something important. Maybe it's a message from a friend, an email from work, or an update from one of our favorite apps. It's just a quick glance, we tell ourselves. We convince ourselves that it won't take more than a second. But that second often stretches into minutes, and before we know it, we're scrolling through endless feeds, lost in a sea of information. But that quick glance often turns into minutes, even hours, lost in the digital ether. We get sucked into the vortex of social media, news updates, and endless notifications. Each piece of information leads to another, and we find ourselves unable to break free. We become slaves to the ping, endlessly scrolling through social media feeds, news updates, and email inboxes. The constant influx of information keeps us hooked, and we find it hard to put our phones down. It's a cycle that repeats itself day after day. This constant checking has become so ingrained in our daily lives that we barely notice its impact. We check our phones during meals, while watching TV, and even during conversations with friends and family. It's as if our phones have become an extension of ourselves. We've become accustomed to the constant barrage of information, the fear of missing out fueling our need to stay connected. The anxiety of not knowing what's happening in the digital world drives us to check our phones repeatedly. It's a habit that's hard to break. This essay delves into the psychology behind our obsession with notifications. We'll explore why we feel compelled to check our phones constantly and what it does to our minds. Understanding the root cause is the first step towards breaking free from this cycle. We'll explore the neurological hooks that keep us tethered to our devices, the impact this digital dependence has on our mental well-being, and most importantly, practical strategies to regain control and cultivate healthier digital habits. Our brains are wired to seek rewards, and notifications provide that instant gratification. This isn't about demonizing technology. Technology has its benefits and can enhance our lives in many ways. It's about finding a balance and using technology mindfully. We can use it to stay connected with loved ones, improve our health, and boost our productivity. It's about understanding the forces at play and empowering ourselves to make conscious choices. By being aware of our habits, we can take steps to change them. We can set boundaries, limit our screen time, and focus on activities that bring us joy and fulfillment. Technology should serve us, not rule us. We should be in control of how we use it rather than letting it control us. By taking charge of our digital habits, we can create a healthier relationship with technology. It's time to break free from the chains of constant checking and reclaim our attention, our time, and our lives. We can choose to be present in the moment, enjoy the company of those around us, and engage in activities that enrich our lives. The first step towards change is awareness. By recognizing the impact of our digital habits, we can start to make positive changes. It's about taking small steps towards a more balanced and fulfilling life. Let's shed light on the psychological mechanisms that underpin our notification addiction. By understanding these mechanisms, we can develop strategies to overcome them and create a healthier relationship with our devices. Why are notifications so alluring? What is it about that little ping or vibration that makes us instantly reach for our phones, almost as if on autopilot? The answer lies in the intricate workings of our brains. Our brains are wired to respond to certain stimuli, and notifications are designed to tap into these neural pathways. When we see a notification, our brains release a small surge of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This chemical reaction is similar to what happens when we experience other forms of gratification, like eating our favorite food or winning a game. This dopamine hit creates a positive feedback loop, reinforcing the behavior that led to it, in this case, checking our phones. Each time we receive a notification, our brain remembers the pleasure and encourages us to repeat the action. This is further amplified by the principle of variable rewards. Unlike predictable rewards, variable rewards are unpredictable and can be more enticing. This concept is often used in gambling and gaming to keep people engaged. We don't know what we'll find when we check our phones, an important email, a message from a loved one, or a funny meme. This unpredictability makes the act of checking our phones even more compelling. This unpredictability keeps us hooked, our brains constantly seeking that next dopamine hit. The anticipation of what might be waiting for us creates a sense of excitement and urgency. Over time, this cycle can lead to habitual behavior. We start to check our phones more frequently, often without even realizing it. This habit can become so ingrained that it feels almost automatic. We develop a scroll reflex, reaching for our phones without even thinking about it. This reflex can be triggered by various cues, such as boredom, stress, or even just seeing someone else use their phone. This becomes even more pronounced when we're bored, stressed, or feeling lonely. Our phones offer a quick and easy way to distract ourselves from uncomfortable emotions. Our phones offer an easy escape, a way to numb uncomfortable emotions. Whether it's scrolling through social media, playing a game, or watching videos, these activities provide a temporary relief from our feelings. Understanding the neuroscience behind our notification addiction is crucial. By learning how our brains respond to notifications, we can start to recognize the patterns and triggers that lead to this behavior. It helps us recognize that this behavior is not entirely our fault. Our brains are wired to seek out rewards and avoid discomfort, and notifications are designed to exploit this natural tendency. We are hardwired to seek out rewards and avoid pain, but knowledge is power. By understanding the mechanisms at play, we can start to develop strategies to break free from this cycle. This might involve setting boundaries for phone use, finding alternative activities to engage in, or simply becoming more mindful of our habits. The key is to take control of our behavior, rather than letting our phones control us. The constant stream of notifications takes a toll on our mental well-being. Our brains are not wired to process such a high volume of information. This information overload leads to cognitive fatigue, making it difficult to focus and make decisions. Furthermore, the pressure to stay constantly connected fuels feelings of stress and anxiety. We feel compelled to respond to messages immediately, fearing social or professional repercussions if we don't. This fear of missing out keeps us tethered to our devices, even when it comes at the expense of our mental health. The irony is that our quest for connection often leads to greater feelings of isolation. When we're constantly glued to our screens, we're missing out on real-life interactions. We're sacrificing genuine connection for the fleeting validation of likes and comments. It's time to reclaim our attention and prioritize our mental well-being. The next section will explore practical strategies to manage notification overload and break free from the tyranny of constant checking. Breaking free from the clutches of constant checking requires conscious effort and a willingness to change our digital habits. In today's hyper-connected world, notifications can easily become overwhelming, pulling us away from the present moment and disrupting our focus. But with some practical strategies, you can regain control over your notifications and reclaim your attention. Here are some practical strategies to regain control over your notifications and reclaim your attention. First, disable non-essential notifications. Not all notifications are created equal. Start by disabling notifications for social media apps, news updates, and any other apps that don't require your immediate attention. This will significantly reduce the number of interruptions you experience throughout the day. Second, schedule designated times for checking your phone. Instead of constantly checking your phone throughout the day, set aside specific times to check and respond to messages and emails. This could be once in the morning, once at lunch, and once in the evening. By doing this, you create a structured routine that helps you stay focused on your tasks without the constant urge to check your phone. Third, create physical distance between you and your phone. Keep your phone out of sight and out of mind whenever possible. Put it in another room while you're working, eating, or spending time with loved ones. This physical separation can help reduce the temptation to check your phone and allow you to be more present in the moment. Fourth, utilize Do Not Disturb mode. Make use of your phone's Do Not Disturb mode during specific hours or when you need to focus on a task. This will silence all notifications and allow you to concentrate without distractions. You can customize the settings to allow calls from certain contacts or to enable notifications for important apps, ensuring that you don't miss anything critical while still minimizing interruptions. Additionally, consider using app management tools that help you monitor and control your screen time. These tools can provide insights into your phone usage patterns and help you set limits on the amount of time you spend on certain apps. By being more aware of your digital habits, you can make more informed decisions about how to manage your notifications and screen time. Another effective strategy is to prioritize face-to-face interactions over digital communication. Whenever possible, choose to have in-person conversations rather than relying on text messages or social media. This not only helps reduce the number of notifications you receive, but also fosters deeper and more meaningful connections with the people around you. Finally, be patient with yourself as you develop healthier digital habits. Changing your relationship with your phone and notifications won't happen overnight. It takes time and consistent effort to create new habits and routines. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and continue to make adjustments as needed. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate notifications entirely, but to manage them in a way that enhances your productivity and well-being. By implementing these strategies, you can take control of your digital life and create a healthier balance between your online and offline world. These are just a few initial steps towards reclaiming your attention. The key is to find what works best for you and to be patient with yourself as you develop healthier digital habits. By taking these steps, you can reduce the impact of notifications on your daily life and create a more focused, intentional, and fulfilling experience. Put it in another room while you're working, eating, or spending time with loved ones, Fourth, utilize Do Not Disturb mode. Make use of your phone's Do Not Disturb mode during specific hours or when you need to focus on a task. This will silence all notifications and allow you to concentrate without distractions. These are just a few initial steps towards reclaiming your attention. The key is to find what works best for you and to be patient with yourself as you develop healthier digital habits.